All right, hello everyone. Welcome to the special Oregon School Board Association Board of Directors meeting. So let's first point of action is to approve the agenda. Now that we have a quorum, do I hear a motion to approve the agenda? You can do so
I
by
motion to
raising your
approve the
arm or
agenda, Linda.
thank you, Linda.
I second it, Katrina.
Do I hear a second? Thank you,
Katrina.
Katrina. Any discussion? All right, hearing none. All those in favor of approving the agenda, please signify by raising your arm or by saying aye. We can go around and check.
Aye. Oh, you want to raise on the screen?
All right.
Okay.
Any opposed? All right, our agenda is approved. All right, so our agenda for the purpose of this special meeting is for appointments. We have 3 appointments for 3 different regions of for the Board of Directors: Petition 3, Petition 4, and Petition 12. Let me go to my notes here. And so we have two contested appointment races and 1 uncontested. Our process for this virtual meeting, as we will start with the first petition 3. We'll give everyone an opportunity to discuss each candidate. And then once we have done that, we'll discuss both at the same time. Well, separately. Once we've discussed both candidates, then we will have a vote. And we can do a vote with our arm. We'll do it that way, obviously, since we're virtual. And so with that, we'll start with petition 3. For the Central Region, we have 2 candidates. We have Lori Denzuka, who serves on the Jefferson County School Board, and we also have Shirley Olson, who serves on the Bend LaPine School Board. So with that, I'd like to open up the floor to have a discussion on our first candidate for petition 3, Lori Denzuka. And if you could just raise your hand and we'll go ahead and call on you. Jim, if you could help me with kind of navigating comments.
Yes, I see Chris Cronin and Katrina and Linda as of right now with their hand raised to speak about Lori Denzuka, Madam President.
Great. We'll start with you, Chris, if you'd like to start.
Thank you, Madam President. I think these are two very qualified and desirable candidates. I think we all know Lori Denzuka, she having attended our meetings last year when she was the school board member of the year, and we heard her speak and we're familiar with her. She represents the district in Jefferson County. Yeah, I believe it's either Madras or Warm Springs. I guess I don't remember. I also am somewhat familiar with the other candidate. She is newly elected. Shirley is newly elected. Is it okay if I talk about both of them? Is that all right? I guess.
That's fine.
Yeah. She's newly elected to her board, clearly highly qualified. She's interested in serving, and I think she has great potential. I guess I think that Lori represents a constituency that we find extremely valuable on our board at this time, both in terms of her representative group. She's currently a member of the Color Caucus. She also represents a district that we have not yet, to my knowledge, had representation from. And I just feel like she would add a dimension to our board right now that would be extremely valuable. So that she would be my recommendation. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments, Chris. We'll go to Katrina.
Thank you so much, Madam President, for the opportunity to speak. I do fully agree with Chris that we have luckily a plethora of folks interested and qualified and capable, but I too would like to support Lori. Reading her materials, it just is very, very clear of a well-rounded vision and of investment in the equity work that we have all agreed on a board, and as staff at OSBA are our goals and the specific strategies that we want to champion. And so seeing that woven in between the Color Caucus and supporting LGBTQ students and staff, and just the really comprehensive community driven responses to her answers, I just think is going to be an amazing addition to this board, and really in line with the goals and strategies and projects that this board has declared they'd like to do. So I definitely would like to support her nomination.
Thank you for your comments, Katrina. We'll go with Special K next.
Thank you. I too am in favor of Lori. I was after she was the board member of the year, I attended some of the sessions that she had at our convention last year. And just as a historical note, you'll notice that she's been serving on her local board for 14 years. Jeff Sanders left the board so that she would have an opportunity to run. Jeff Sanders was on our board and in fact was our OSBA president about 12 years ago. Jim would know for sure, but I do respect that Jeff Sanders said that this was a good person to represent their area and to represent the students, and I absolutely would support Lori in this position.
Great, thank you for your comments. So we have Scott also wants to speak. Scott?
And Madam President, don't forget Linda Hamilton was in the queue as well.
Okay. What we have is Scott still trying to unmute, or we can have Linda go first and
You can
then
disregard Linda.
Scott next.
Disregard Linda out of the queue.
Okay.
Scott,
All right,
are
so
you
wait
able
for
to
Scott. Do
unmute?
we have any other? Is he
Scott,
also able to chat as well by phone?
Scott is telling me he has no audio right now. He will try to call in again, Madam President.
Okay. All right. So any other comments on either candidate? That's what we're doing. Do you see any hands raised?
I don't. I'm admitting
not seeing-
Scott right now, Madam President, to see if he can
Okay.
connect. So
Okay.
Scott, are you able to speak? I don't think he's able to.
Okay. Well, again,
So,
this is
Madam President, since we are having some issues, I see Greg's video is having some issues.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Oh, there he goes. Yes, Scott.
There we go.
I'm so sorry, everybody.
That's okay.
I'm sitting on the side of the road and will allow us, so I apologize. I wanted to take a moment and speak on behalf of Lori Danzuka. I've had the pleasure of knowing Lori both in my professional and personal capacity for a number of years. I find her to be a tireless advocate for her community, a tireless advocate for the students, both those that are tribal members as well as those that are not within the Jefferson County 509J. And I just find her to be a tireless advocate for doing good things in the state of Oregon. So I can't say good enough things about Lori Danzuka, and I will be proud to support her in this process. So thank you.
Thank you, Scott. All right, so with that, this is your opportunity, board members, to speak. This is a part of your role, is to evaluate and make a recommendation. If you have any feedback, we review the applications of both candidates before we vote. It'd be great to hear from everyone. Chris, go ahead.
So since we've had some preliminary discussion, I would move to appoint Lori Danzuka to position 3 for the Central Region.
I second that.
Okay, we have a first and a second. Do we have any other discussion? All right.
Madam President, if I could make a suggestion here, since Greg Kintz was having some, and I don't see him now on the call. Greg was having some video issues. Scott was having some issues. If you're okay, I would like to do a roll call vote, and I would do the roll call on your behalf, Madam President.
Okay, we can do that.
Okay. So the motion is to appoint Lori Danzuka to position 3 on the Central Region. I will go alphabetically. Craig Albright.
Aye.
Ashley Carson Cottingham.
Aye.
Jeff was not on the call. Chris Cronin.
Yes.
Jackie Crook was not on the call. Incoming. Katrina Dowdy.
Yes.
Neelam Gupta.
Aye.
Thank you, Neelam. Linda Hamilton. Did Linda drop off?
I don't see everyone on my screen, so you'll have to let me know.
Oh, that may be Linda
Oh,
trying to come back in. We can come back to her. Linda Hamilton, Chris Hallett,
Yes.
Greg Kintz. Greg, this is a motion to appoint Lori Danzuka to the Central Board region. Vote yes or no, please.
No.
Okay. Erica Lopez,
Yes.
Sonia McKenzie,
yes.
Chrissy Reitz,
Yes.
right. Scott Rogers,
Yes.
Emily Smith, Emily. Okay, I see you nodding your head. I'm going to assume that means a yes. Don Watson
Yes.
and Maureen Wolf.
Yes.
Let's see. Did Linda Hamilton come back on? I don't see Linda. Madam President, there is enough votes of the members that are present of the OSBA board to appoint Lori Danzuka.
All right, so that's congratulations to Lori Danzuka, our newest board member representing position 3 Central Region. Congratulations to Lori. Thank you, Bird. All right, so we will move on to the next position for the Southeast Region. We have 2 candidates for the OSBA Board of Directors. We have Douglas Furr currently serving on the Harney County School Board, and Steve Lowell serving on the Klamath County School Board. So I'd like to open the floor for comments on candidates Douglas Furr and Stephen Lowell. So who would like to just raise your hand if you have a comment on either candidate or both? All right,
Chris Hallett and Chris Cronin and Scott Rogers have their hands raised, Madam President.
great.
Right
We'll
now.
start with Scott. Scott, go ahead.
Thank you, Madam President. And again, I apologize for any audio issues. I'd like to speak on behalf of Steve. I've known Steve through my work on the OSBA board when he was initially on the board when I joined. I've always found Steve to be very willing to listen actively to other perspectives and members of the board during discussions. I think that he is very free to speak his mind and make his point known. And I would say to his credit, throughout a wide variety of issues and conversations, he has always been a huge advocate for doing good work for kids. So therefore, I'm going to be supporting Steve in this process. So thank you.
Thank you, Scott. We'll go with Chris Cronin next.
Thank you, Madam President. I also am going to speak on behalf of Steve Lowell. I haven't known him for as long as Scott. I think that means I'm not as old as Scott is. But anyway, he is, I've had numerous conversations with him. He is very committed to the work, very much an advocate of the work that OSBA does. He's been on the LPC committee since he went off the board. I think he is a great partner with us and has some background and experience that I think would be valuable. And I'm excited that he wishes to join the board again.
Thank you for your comments, Chris. We'll go with Special K. You're up.
Thank you. I've known Steve for a number of years through his work with OSBA with the Legislative Policy Committee. He brings a wealth of knowledge and experience to that position and has always been someone who brings forward information about his region. Again, I'm pleased that we had multiple candidates. Mr. Furr is 1 year on his board, a little bit more experience might help him some. And if Steve is put on, there could be a possibility for a Legislative Policy Committee position for Mr. Furr. But right now I lean towards Steve Lowell. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. All right, any other comments? And I'm not seeing everyone on screen, Jim, so you'll have to help me. If you see anyone else with their hand raised.
Any other comments, right? I don't see anybody else's hand raised, Madam Chair.
Okay, great. So if no other comments, do I hear a motion for Steve Lowell for position 4, the Southeast region?
Madam Chair, I would move to appoint Steve Lowell to the position for Southeast Region Board of Directors Chair.
I'll second.
Directors.
Thank you, Chris. Seconded by, I couldn't catch that.
It was Maureen, Sonia.
Maureen. Great.
Thank you, Madam
Great.
President.
All right. Any other discussion? Any other discussion? All right. Hearing none. Jim will have you do the roll call vote.
Thank you, and you'll have to excuse me. There is a freight train going by our offices here in Salem right now, so if you hear any background noise, that's that. We will do reverse alphabetical order this time. Maureen Wolf,
I was ready for you, Jim. Yes.
Don Watson,
Yes.
Emily Smith,
Yes.
Scott Rogers,
Yes.
Chrissy Wrights, can you put your thumb up so I can see it? There we go. Thank you, Chrissy. Sonia McKenzie.
Yes.
Thank you, Sonia. Erica Lopez.
Yes.
Greg Kintz.
Yes.
Thanks, Greg. Chris Howitt.
Yes.
Thank you, Chris. Neelam Gupta.
Yes.
Katrina Dowdy.
Yes.
Chris Cronin.
Yes.
Ashley Carson Cottingham.
Yes.
Thank you, Ashley. And Craig Albright.
Yes.
Thank you. Let me just look on the screen, Madam President, to see if any of the other folks had joined. I think we've got all the votes, and Madam Chair, you have a majority and a quorum to appoint Steve Lowell to position 4, Southeast region of the OSBA Board of Directors.
All right. Thank you. So congratulations to Steve Lowell, our newest board member representing position 4 for the Southeast region. So congratulations. All right. So we will move on to our final nomination. Let me grab my notes here. Position 12, Marion Region, Alonzo Oliveros, who is currently serving on the Willamette ESD Board of Directors. So I'd like to open the floor for any comments on Alonzo his application to any of the board members.
Madam
Please
Chair,
have your hands
I'll just
raised.
repeat what you said because you were kind of breaking up, a little bit, at least on my side. The president has asked for any comment related to the appointment of Alonzo Oliveros to the Marion region.
All right. Seeing none, do I hear a motion to appoint Alonzo Oliveros to the position 12 for the Marion region?
Madam President, I move to appoint Alonzo Oliveros to the Marion Region position.
I second.
I hear first from Emily, and I wasn't clear on the second.
I'll give it to Ashley since that's her region. Sorry, could you be okay with that?
Thank you.
Thank you. And so, Jim, did you want to do a roll call vote?
Madam Chair, you can do it by a motion of acclamation since he's the only candidate.
Okay. So all those in favor of the appointment of Alonzo Oliveros, please signify by saying aye or raising your hand.
Aye.
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 All right, any opposed? All right. Congratulations to Alonzo, who has been appointed to position 12, serving the Marion County region. Congratulations. All right, so Jim, I think we did have a real quick announcement. Did you want to share the news? And then I don't think we have any other comments, just a reminder.
First, thank you all for being here and really appreciate your opportunity to come in and do this. This is important work to get these folks appointed so they can join us at the September meeting. We did receive, we being President McKenzie, President-elect Aladraba, and myself here at the OSBA offices, received a resignation notice off of the OSBA board today from Miriam Cummings. Her resignation is effective immediately, according to the letter that she sent. So Miriam will not be serving on the OSBA board. It's why she's not here today. That position is actually up in this election cycle. So instead of appointing someone to serve for a month's period of time out of the Lynn Benton Lincoln region, we've discussed hopefully just having that be part of the election cycle for OSBA, because all these folks you just appointed have to run for election this cycle too under our bylaws. So I just wanted to let everybody know that we did receive Miriam's resignation notice, and Sonia did reach out to her via email to thank her for her service and sorry to see her go. But this position will be open in this election cycle, and we will put it into the normal election cycle for this time around.
All right. Thank you, Jim. All right, everyone. Thank you for your time this afternoon. It's good to see everyone. We are adjourned. Thank you.
So, Sonia, is it possible for the executive team to stay on for just a moment?
Yeah, I can stay.
As long as you're not making decisions, we didn't notice a meeting,
No.
Chris.
No.
Emily, if you can stay.
Can I make
Yeah.
one comment really quick? It's a
Absolutely.
note. I received
Yes.
an email yesterday, and Sonia and Jim, I sent you this. I received an email from Sonia that was asking me that it specifically said that Emily Smith was not available and if she could help me out. And so I just wanted people to be aware that there's still a
Bryce is
scam
looking
going.
into it from our IT side, Chris. Yeah, don't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Don't
If you
send
hover
anybody
over the
to
email,
Sonia
it shows
unless
it's not
needed.
Sonia.
Yeah,
Chris,
I
you-
know. I just wanted people to be aware because it's getting more specific. Like it specifically stated that Emily Smith
Mhm.
was out of town. So, just be aware. Just wanted
Listen,
to.
you
heads
can
up.
send
if I could just speak to this because it is important. Any communication that I send to board members generally will come from Linnell. That's why I traditionally do not reach out directly to you all, but always use caution with that. That's happened. I've been on the board 5 years. It happens with every president. I'm not gonna, so just reach out and confirm with Linnell first, but most communication will come from Linnell if it's coming from me, just so you know. And I
Sonia,
know the RT is working on it.
I'm sorry to interrupt, Sonia, but this is Neelam. This happened with me too.
Mhm.
Going to some of the caucus members. So
Mhm.
it just, this is the world we live in today, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is.
unfortunately. Yeah.
Unfortunately, yep.
Yeah.
Thanks, Prissy, for elevating that. I appreciate it. All right, you've got us here, Chris. I
Oh,
don't think Scott could stay on, but
no,
No, Scott's on.
I think he's
is he?
back.
I'm on.
Okay. Okay. Oh, great.
I just, I think, I know Sonia knew that I spoke with Miriam today. We had been playing phone tag since before she left on her trip to Egypt because Sonia had asked me to reach out to her among our group or because of our effort to try to encourage participation. And she and I had a touch base. I had a conversation with her today, and she had some concerns that she had experienced, feeling like at times she was not heard. But honestly, our conversation ended on a note. The truth really is she's in a different space in her life right now with some other interests, and she left the conversation realizing that this was her work at OSBA is probably not the right time in her life, and that she's pursuing other interests right now and feeling pretty good about where she is. And I think she has she has positive thoughts about OSBA, and she will continue to attend OSBA events. She said, "Well, I'll see you at November convention." She said, I'm a single mom with kids. I have a demanding job in some other areas, and I can fill you in a little bit more, but she is feeling good about her decision. And I was supportive of the decision that people make to when something isn't quite at the right time in their lives. So I think we ended it on a positive note.
Great. I'm so appreciative of you being able to spend that time with her and talk with her. Thank you, Chris.
All is well.
Appreciate it. Good. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right. See y'all
Thanks,
later.
everybody.
Oh, I have
Thank
a
you.
question. Hey, Jim, is it possible to reach out to Doug Furr? I just want to be able to say the name Doug Furr in an OSBA meeting. I'd like to hear
Doug
from
Furr.
Doug Furr.
Not Doug Furr, Doug
Douglas
Furr.
Furr.
My plan is to reach out to all the folks that put their name in. Let the 3 candidates know that they were appointed. Obviously, Marion was, uncontested, but let Doug and Shirley know that there is an opportunity to serve in a leadership role through the Legislative Policy Committee coming up, and would encourage both of them to apply for those positions respectively within their region.
Perfect. All right.
Okay.
Thanks.
And also, hopefully they can all make it to the retreat as well, right? Because that's right around the corner.
That was my understanding, at least with Lori and with Steve. I had not
Okay.
had the opportunity to reach out to Alonzo yet.
Okay.
So
You're good to have them there.
All right.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everybody. Thank you.
See you later.